His business looked successful, customers everywhere, money flowing daily. Then one morning he woke up bankrupt and had no idea how it happened. In a merchant district where shop owners competed for profits, two brothers opened identical spice shops on the same street. Same products, same suppliers, same prices, same customers. Both shops were busy from opening to closing every single day. 5 years later, one brother owned 3 thriving locations and knew every detail of his business. The other brother lost everything, closed his shop, and had no clue what went wrong. The difference? One wrote numbers down. The other trusted his memory. The first brother's name was Zane. When Zane opened his shop, he focused on one thing: making sales. Customers came in. He sold them spices. They paid. Money went in the cash box. Simple. Zane never wrote anything down. No records, no ledger, no tracking. He'd look at his cash box at the end of each day, and if it had money, he felt successful. If it was full, he thought he was doing great. People would ask Zane, "How's business?" Zane would say, "Great. The shop is always busy. Money is coming in every day." And it was true. Zane's shop was busy, but busy doesn't mean profitable. And Zane had no way to know the difference because he never tracked anything. Zane didn't know which spices made money and which ones lost money. He didn't know his actual profit margins. He didn't track waste or theft. He didn't monitor if suppliers were overcharging him. He didn't know which customers were valuable and which were just browsing. He operated on feeling. If the cash box looked full, he felt good. If it looked low, he felt worried. But feelings aren't facts, and facts matter in business. Years passed. Zane kept making sales. His cash box filled and emptied, filled and emptied. Some months felt better than others, but Zane had no data to explain why. He just kept going day to day, assuming everything was fine because customers kept coming. Then one day, Zane needed to pay his rent and supplier bills. He opened his cash box expecting enough money. It wasn't there. He was short, significantly short. Zane was confused. The shop is busy. Where did the money go? He scrambled to cover expenses, borrowed from friends, delayed some payments. But the next month, same problem. Not enough money. And the month after that, worse. After 5 years of successful business, Zane was bankrupt. He had to close his shop. And he had no idea what went wrong. No records. No data. No way to trace where the money leaked away. Zane's business failed silently because he never watched it. He had an empty ledger, and it destroyed him. The second brother's name was Halim. When Halim opened his shop, he also focused on sales. But Halim did something else. Every single night, he wrote numbers down. Halim kept a ledger, a simple notebook where he recorded everything. How much money came in, how much went out, what he sold, what he spent, every transaction, every day. At first, it felt tedious. Writing numbers took time. But Halim understood that numbers don't lie. Feelings do. Memory does. But written numbers tell the truth. After the first month, Halim analyzed his ledger. He discovered something important. One spice he thought was profitable was actually losing him money. The supplier charged too much, and customers weren't willing to pay enough to cover costs. Halim stopped selling that spice. Instant improvement. Money saved. He noticed another spice sold incredibly well with great margins. Halim doubled his stock of it. More profit. He caught a supplier who had been slowly increasing prices while claiming they stayed the same. Halim questioned it with his ledger as proof. The supplier admitted the increases and lowered. Prices back. Money saved. Every month, Halim learned something new from his numbers. Which days were busiest? Which products moved fastest? Which customers spent the most? Which expenses were unnecessary? Halim's empty shelves got restocked with winning products. His pricing got optimized. His costs got cut. All because he tracked everything and made decisions based on data, not feelings. After 1 year, Halim's shop was significantly more profitable than Zain's, even though both had similar sales. After 3 years, Halim opened a second location using the exact same tracking system. After 5 years, he had 3 shops, all profitable, all tracked meticulously. Halim knew every detail of his business, not because he had a better memory, but because he wrote everything down and reviewed it constantly. One day, after Zain closed his failed shop, he visited Halim and asked, "We had the same business, same products, same customers. Why did you succeed and I failed?" Halim showed him the ledger. Pages and pages of numbers. 5 years of data. Every transaction recorded. Halim said, "Because I tracked everything and you tracked nothing. Your business failed silently because you never watched it. Mine succeeded loudly because I measured every move." Zain looked at the numbers and said, "But I was busy. I didn't have time to write all this down." Halim replied, "You had time. You just chose not to use it. Writing down numbers takes 10 minutes a day. Your ignorance cost you everything. My 10 minutes a day saved me from disaster and built wealth." Here's the truth about business that destroys most people. You can't manage what you don't measure. A business without tracking is a business dying slowly. You might feel successful. You might look busy. But if you're not writing down numbers, you have no idea what's really happening. Money could be leaking everywhere and you wouldn't know. Profits could be shrinking and you wouldn't see it. Costs could be rising and you wouldn't notice. Until it's too late. Until bankruptcy arrives and you're shocked because you thought everything was fine. Zain represents most small business owners. They run on feeling. They track nothing. They rely on memory and intuition. They think busy means profitable. They assume success until failure proves them wrong. They have empty ledgers, and empty ledgers lead to empty bank accounts. Halim represents business owners who actually build sustainable companies. They track everything. They write it down. They review their numbers. They make decisions based on data. They spot problems early. They optimize constantly. They know exactly where they stand at every moment. Not because they're smarter, but because they measure. Think about your own business or side hustle. Are you tracking? Do you write down your income and expenses? Do you know your profit margins? Do you review your numbers? Most people don't. They operate on feeling, and feeling leads to failure. The solution is simple. Keep a ledger. Write everything down. Spend 10 minutes a day tracking your numbers. Review them weekly. Analyze what's working and what's not. Numbers reveal truth. Empty ledgers hide disaster until it's too late. Zane felt successful for 5 years while slowly going bankrupt. Helene knew his reality every single day and built lasting wealth. Same business, different tracking. One trusted his feelings. One trusted his numbers. One went bankrupt. One built an empire. Stop operating on feelings. Start tracking numbers. Your business might be failing right now, and you don't even know it. Fill your ledger before it's too late. Subscribe for more wealth parables.